Hello, I'm Jason Board from MakingStarWars.net, and I squirt, I don't leak. And today I'm joined by my old buddy Bendover.
they'll never find me on this planet. I'm just
Right?
bent over. Luke is like, yeah.
Yeah. So today we drop some spoiler bombs. And I was over reading Bespin Bulletin site today, and I saw some stuff about Leia was out there. And it was like, oh, the shoe has fallen. Now it's time for the other shoe to fall. That makes sense. And so the article that we're going to get into gets into a lot of spoilers. And so if you don't want spoilers, you're probably going to want to jump off of this, just so you know. But the article I published on MakingStarWars. Yeah, I know. There's always that person with the fake outrage. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, you did it. And you're just like, I prefaced it, but I just
really what you do.
Yeah. And the way I figured is if those people hate me, I didn't have them anyway. So fuck them. Spoilers: Princess Leia, Kumail Nanjiani, the Inquisitor plot, and more in Star Wars Kenobi. Okay. So this has been so hard to sit on. I can't even tell you. It's been like if I was a chicken, I had this big fucking egg under my ass for like. So remember back when I got the picture with Ewan McGregor from back then? Like I've been sitting on. I mean, this stuff before that, and it's just been like, oh man, it's been painful. And then so I am so glad to give birth to these spoilers, and to have them out. So let's go over the article. So today rumors are circulating about the 10-year-old Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan's appearance in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can tell you that the rumors are true and fill in the blanks somewhat. I do think it's important to not read too much into the plot points here, as there is more to it all than meets the eye in terms of the overall story. This is just a sliver of the first third of the series in my estimation. So leaving Tatooine. Do you want me to read through the whole thing, or do you want to just like hit it and discuss? What do you think's better?
Let's hit it and discuss.
Okay. So yeah. So anyways, in my estimation, if this had been a film, this is like Act 1. Okay. Not all 3 acts of the story. This isn't the whole entire thing. Okay. So, leaving Tatooine. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi leaves Tatooine on a secret mission to save Princess Leia after Bail Organa shows up in Obi-Wan's cave, saying she has been abducted and the Organas need his help. Obi-Wan takes public transport off Tatooine, like we see in the Book of Boba Fett, to a world described as Reno, if it were a Star Wars planet, by a source working at Manhattan Beach. So, yeah. So basically, we end up with Kenobi. If you recall, if you've been following along with my reports of the last week or two, I talked a bit about Bail Organa recently, and my take on Bail Organa is Jimmy Smits is back, Bail's back, and his wife Bria Organa is back. I do think it's most likely a different actor. You could look at the cast list and come up with a couple of possible candidates. But
for his wife, right?
For his wife, yes, for his wife. And so yeah, but basically it's just this like real like scuzzy trash planet that somebody like Kenobi would never want to go to. And so we end up with this plot, this plan to capture. So the Inquisitors have studied the Jedi's past that they're hunting, like Kenobi. And they have an understanding of who was close to certain living Jedi before Order 66. So as the hunt for Obi-Wan Kenobi by the Grand Inquisitor commences, the 5th brother and the 3rd sister begin to pull threads that will spring Kenobi from out of the shadows so they could slay him. The idea is to have Senator Organa's daughter captured so they could see who comes to save her. And if their intel is correct, they just might catch a big fish like Kenobi. So... makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Makes sense
yep.
why
That's what I would
exactly.
do.
I mean, they are Jedi hunters. They're out there hunting Jedi, and as this story goes on, I've talked a little bit about how the Grand Inquisitor berates the third sister, and stuff like that. He's just like also like she's a maniac, He's like she's a fucking killer, and they don't believe he doesn't believe that yet they can capture Kenobi. Thinks it's too hard. Thinks he's too good, and but he wants to do it, of course. So
All I, all I hear is that line from Last Crusade when he was like, Marcus knows 7 languages. Speaks 13 different cultures. He's already found the the Holy Grail before
yeah,
he even knew it. And then like you cut to Obi-Wan like pissing in a cave.
the shadow. Yeah, Kenobi's getting on the wrong transport to the wrong planet right now, and no. Thankfully, he's competent.
He's fucking around with the mods. You know what I mean? Hey, everybody, look at what I got modded. I got my dick modded. Ben.
I got a robot hand. I'm Darth Vader. I got a robot hand. No, but anyways, so the Inquisitors basically they've been studying everybody's past connections. Who was close with who. And they don't really trust Bail Organa. Like Bail Organa is, I get the vibe, kind of an open secret. Like everybody knows he's with the rebels. Everybody knows he's a sympathizer for democracy, that he's pretty anti-imperialism. At the same time, he's playing the game a little bit. They don't have the political garbage just to go kill him yet. There's that line in New Hope about about how will they control the star systems without the Senate and that kind of stuff. And so there's still politics to be played. So, but they also know that this guy could be the connection, and they're not wrong. They make a very good educated guess. And so they have her captured, and then that's when Bail Organa has to go out, find Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if you've been following along last couple of days, I talk about how he lives in a cave now. He doesn't live in that fancy house. When I say fancy, I say that facetiously. He doesn't live in that house that we saw him in New Hope. He's living like in caves, like he's part of the Taliban or something, in the year 2003. And when Bell sends him on the mission, because I don't know all of the details, but I have a feeling that maybe the people who captured him are like, we know your secret, and they don't know what that means. That part is an assumption on my part, if that makes sense. But I think that they're like they steal the girl and like, we know your secret. And then they're like, oh shit, they know that it's Padme and Anakin's daughter. And really at the core of it, it's just like, we're trying to see how do you react to this, that's kind of my vibe on the story right now.
All right.
So let's go on to Kumail Nanjiani and Space Reno. So remember in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, how Cassian had contacts in the shadows that he would meet for information? Mm-hmm. Well, Kenobi travels to a world no one wants to go to, full of crime, scum, and villainy. Quote, Space Reno. Reno.
Just filled with COVID and divorce.
Supposedly in the volume, Space Reno looks pretty sweet, by the way. Like it's one of those kinds of sets that works really, really good. Yeah. They mentioned and it wasn't a comparison, but in Loki, like when they go to that like kind of like city planet, like that starts to get destroyed. I guess it all kind of gets started, but there's that they basically said we've stepped up like from that. Like it looks really good, supposedly. But anyways, this is where he meets up with Kumail's character, who's a contact of Organa and Kenobi. So and then he points Kenobi to a spice den where Leia is being held captive. So a disguised Kenobi then sneaks into the spice den and I have a typo, dude. But rescues 10-year-old Princess Leia Organa.
That's where she grows the pinky.
It's where she grows the pinky.
This.
Yeah.
Started it early.
Mhm.
Poor Leia.
Yeah, so she, I need to fix that typo. It's gonna kill me the whole show now. But anyways, yeah, so and then but on a complete side note, I hear that the performance is really good. Like everyone who worked with them said, number one, that dude is cool as shit, super nice, obviously super talented and super funny, and that everyone is hoping that if this character has this, that his character and the actor himself has a big future in Star Wars because
The
it's that
Inquisitor?
good. No, Kamal.
Oh,
Kumail
okay. The okay.
Kumail Nanjiani. I can never. I always stutter when I say his name. Nanjiani. And no, they just say like he's like a really strong character. It was well written, and then in the end, we got a really good performer in the part. So, Kitster fans, I had to play with the Kitster stuff like for the last few months because it was fun. Because I wanted it to maybe somehow be true, but I knew it wasn't for a while.
Manifesting?
I was hoping because that's when I was Kitster's brother or something, and then the real Kitster would show up. But no, he was never Kitster. Unfortunately, Kitster fans, I'm sorry, Kitster fans, but can you imagine if Kitster grew up to be that ripped? Because he's ripped.
Right now, Jesse's looking at the internet and he picks up a big pile of Kitster stickers he just made and burns them.
He's like, no! So I thought we were friends.
You could have told me a month ago, Wards.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, though, and then I have a minor correction. I had some wires crossed. That Tom O'Connell, who plays Darth Vader and the stunt performer for Darth Vader, the sword fighter Darth Vader, got some wires crossed. And basically, he is the tattooed face Zabrak in the Spice Den. The Jedi that he plays, I don't think is a Zabrak. It's a different character. So sorry about that. I got some wires crossed. My fault. Sorry, but I have now corrected it. And yeah, so I think in the Spice Den and the Spice Den stuff is like, you know, I'm trying to like put it into context. Remember when Boba Fett goes to that one place? What is it called? It's not Tashi Station. Is it Anchorhead or Tashi Station?
I thought it was like Tashi Station.
Tashi Station, right? Yeah, when he goes to a Tashi Station, you know how he goes in there and he fucks everybody up?
Yep.
And then he like is like, peace out, gets his drink and leaves. The whole scene, the whole part from what I heard was filmed about amounted to that. That was what my sources agreed. Like, yeah, that sounds right. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, it's action, but I don't think it's going to be like the biggest thing in the world. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be like 45 minutes of Kenobi just tearing up an opium den. You know what I mean? Or a spice den.
Table flipping, snort some. Then all knots are all, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like we were right. We were right.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of. And then Leia, Vivian Lyra Blair, according to Bespin Bulletin, has a lot of sassy pep. Here, just fantastic things about the actor. She's difficult and funny. Not the actor, the Princess Leia at this 10-year-old age.
Like, this little kid's fucking difficult.
She's difficult. She's a little funny in the head. I think they dropped her on a couple of scenes and she was never the same.
She's a little more like Carrie than we planned. We brought George in to consult. He's like, oh,
you know,
on,
I mean, she's let's be honest. Between takes, she's hitting a lot of the pixie sticks, if you know what I mean. But no. I hear she's delightful. Everyone is just like, oh man, all of the crew were in love with her. Is what I've heard. So, anyways, if you've been following along with me for the last year, I've talked about Paper Moon's influence on Star Wars, thanks to Star Wars Santa. Shout out to Star Wars Santa, my Paper Moon brother.
Thanks, Santa.
Thanks, Santa Claus. That film totally influenced Grogu and his choice to leave his kin and return to Mando. This story for a time, has a lot of the same comedic dynamic between Moses Bray and 9-year-old Addie Loggins, but with Obi-Wan and Leia. So the two characters in Paper Moon, their dynamic, that's what I was kind of teasing earlier in the week when we were talking about this last time. Their dynamic is essentially the same as the characters in Paper Moon. It's another Paper Moon influence on Star Wars.
They built
right
a
here.
second Paper Moon.
A second Paper Moon, and it's a Death Star.
And it's fully operational, this Paper Moon. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not, they're gonna complete the whole thing this time, not drag on. 9 fucking seasons. All right.
So we basically have the guy who's like very focused, and we have the girl who's just like, what is this? Like, what, you know what I mean? And it's what you would expect from Princess Leia. I mean, if you think about it, Princess Leia's performance in a lot of ways and her attitude is kind of similar to that character in Paper Moon. But I wanted to be clear that, to the best of my knowledge, like, this isn't the series. This isn't Paper Moon, the Star Wars series. You know what I mean? This is just the opening of the story. And to the best of my knowledge, I don't think Leia's like in more than half of the series. I'm not sure exactly where the jump off is for her or whatever, but she's not in like the whole thing as far as I know. At least not prominently as far as I know.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like 10, right?
Yeah, she's 10 years old, so it's like, they've already put the 10-year-old in an opium den. Who knows what else they'll do? But
yeah, well, just like the 70s words, Kurtz, it was hard to keep him from doing all the wrong things.
So my understanding is that we basically have Leia, captured, put in the opium den, so that way they could draw Kenobi out. Kenobi gets in there, gets her, and then probably just straight up returns her to the, maybe even to Kumail. I'm not Kumail Nanjiani's character. I'm not positive about that, so don't quote me on that. And then that gets her back safe. And then after that, though, we have the Inquisitors are hot on the tail of Kenobi, and join the fun by subscribing to the Making Star Wars show. So subscribe to the show, like the video, leave comments if you're not already in the chat, and we'll get to them. And so, but that is the gist of my report for today, and it was one I am just so happy and finally happy to get that out to you guys. And make sure you share the show and all that kind of jazz, because we need to grow the show. I love doing it and it's fun, but also I want to grow the show. So let's do that, and you guys can help. And also, you can become a Patreon supporter and support the show on Patreon. That's what allows me to go and gather this intel. It's what allows me to go down to Manhattan Beach and super sneak around, put my hood up, and go, "What's going on there?" That kind of stuff. And otherwise,
bring everyone in and out and let you right in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I need to buy the trash can that I hide in, and I write care of Kathleen Kennedy, and I jump inside, and then they say, "Oh, this belongs to the boss," and then they take it into the set, and then I go, I look around, and I'm like, "Oh, that's Princess Leia." That's how it works, you guys.
You laugh, but that's how Kenny Baker got a job.
Oh man, poor Kenny. Yeah, boy. And hello, Michael Papas, my old buddy from back in the day. I've had a lot of fake ass friends, but Michael Papas is my real friend for all time. And that means a lot. Yeah, the hype for Kenobi is so real. And I like I've been saying, like, I'm so mixed on Book of Boba. And I was hearing mixed things for quite a while. I didn't know everything, and I didn't dig super hard. I focused more on Kenobi. And after watching Book of Boba Fett, I'm like, I enjoy it. And I think it's going to feel pretty fun, in retrospect, as time goes on. I'll be like, oh, there's such a lot of fun, weird stuff in it. But this is like the Star Wars story, This is like the lore and what's going on.
I'm never gonna have fun with Boba Fett.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I think I'm gonna have like days where, like, I want to see a Rancor. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean, though. Like,
you're like Star Wars Banky from Chasing Amy. Sometimes I like it with a Rancor.
Yeah, exactly. But do you have other info that you can't report yet? Not just about Kenobi? Oh, I have a ton. So do not worry.
Like,
Yeah.
this all you got? Just a whole opening and the basic premise and fucking what's going on?
And and yes, he's living in a cave. He doesn't have that house. They didn't redo the house. They built him a little cave that he works in, or lives in, I should say. So hello, Making Star Wars and Mr. Dover. So I'm late. Is this a leak or insider info? It's more of a squirt Star Wars game, and I squirted all in your ear holes. I hope you liked it.
I just want you to know that was my favorite soda as a kid.
Squirt?
Yeah, I was a squirt.
As a kid too, it made me so fat. They had a diet squirt for a while, and it kind of worked, but it also just made me more thirsty. So I think that's why I stopped drinking it. But can I just say I love Nolan's attitude? Kidster is still out there somewhere.
That's
it's true. And
not
Mark Hamill, not with that actor. Yeah. Mark Hamilton, how's it going, sir? Mark Hamilton has sent me some stuff to share on the show. I wanted to get to today, but I think we'll have to say that for tomorrow when it's slower, probably. Maybe. Who knows? Kidster supremacy is undying. I agree.
Kidster supremacy sounds like he went alt-right. Oh no, not Kidster. So
yeah, Star Wars geography is just so confusing. Yeah, is Tashi Station in Anchorhead? Because I always thought they were two different things. I don't know. I used to like in Star Wars Galaxies there was Bestine. They should bring that back too. But
I know that name.
Yeah,
I've deleted it, but it's there. It's damn. Why can't I?
Johannes, how long do you think Andor's episodes are? I am under the impression that all of the Kenobi episodes are in the 45-minute range on usually. And when I asked another source about Andor, I just heard more of the same. So I'm not completely 100% honest. I mean, accurate on that for sure. But I am honestly just telling you that. Yeah, but I am honestly telling you that's what I think. I think they're going to be based off of general crosstalk, if you will. Star Wars in games all check her left pinky nail. Yeah, that wasn't real though, right? I don't think that was real.
No,
the Coke nail?
Yeah,
I don't think that was real.
Okay, well, I want it to be real. That counts.
Yeah, I want it to be real, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I have a feeling if it was real, Disney would be in there fucking photoshopping that shit out frame by frame. We will see a Rebel cell with snow speeders and Kenobi concept art. I wonder if he drops Leia off to the Rebels. It's worth considering. The actress playing Leia has blue eyes. Can they digitally make them brown so it matches with Carrie Fisher? After Saw Gerrera, I don't think they give a fuck. Because Saw Gerrera had blue eyes. He was dark skinned with blue eyes. And, now not so much.
Purists.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark Hamill didn't have a CGI face either. So,
Yeah. I know. I did wonder for a time if they were gonna make young Luke CGI, if they were gonna use Mark Hamill, 10-year-old Mark Hamill reference photos by some chance from his personal things to make that kid look like him or something, but I don't think they are. That'd be a bit far probably. But yeah. Is there an official Tatooine map? That's a good question, Chris. Because
that would have been really nice to have all set up with Boba Fett. They could sell that thing or include it with the Monopoly game and shit.
Or even, I mean, since they explained everything to us using that stuff anyways in Book of Boba Fett, they could have had a scene where the map comes up and she's like, "We're here. We must get here and here." You know what I mean? Then you just kind of understand because they did do those kind of explainer scenes a few times, what's her name just explain things to Boba, and he's like, "Okay, now I understand the world I live in. So
now I am less stupid.
Now I'm not so dumb."
Yeah. And he farts. Oh shit, Boba.
Oh no! Now what am I gonna do?
Matt Berry robot turns on his fan.
It is stupid. But I would have appreciated it. I would have appreciated it if he just fucking ripped ass in the middle of Book of Boba. That would have made sense to me. It would have made more sense than some things, you know.
I developed incontinence when I was in
Yeah.
the Sarlacc pit. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah. So I mean, with what I have just released, what do you think? What do you think it's going to be? You think it's going to be a pretty good story? Do you think that sounds like the beats are going to work for you, Rob? Does it make you happy to hear what you're hearing?
What does it say about humanity? I'm trying to figure out what would James think right now. No, I'm gonna fuck it up.
James.
Man, so far,
James sent me an email about you. We need to get to at some point.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He found out it was me banning Star Wars Santa and blamed it on Jesse.
Yeah.
Traitor.
but anyways, what did you think of the what did you think of what you're hearing?
You know what? I'm just happy that we're gonna get to see like actors from Revenge of the Sith get to like hopefully actually act in the Star Wars film, right? Like Joel Edgerton being one of them. I mean, like, dude's fantastic in The Green Knight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's just like one of those things where it's like, I don't know about Kenobi living in a cave. Kind of, I trust Deborah Chow. It could be really goofy, right? Like, this is my rock. It's where I sleep. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you know. I don't think that'll be the case, but you know, it's like when you say, "Hey, there's a cut scene from Return of the Jedi where Luke is in the cave working on a saber," and then you see it, and you're like, "And not really," you know, like he's like just in a cave turning on a lightsaber. Like, so I hope like we get a sense of his like. I don't want the like he's just out walking in the desert, but I just want a smart way of feeling all this shit in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I want to feel what that dude's going through, and I want to feel like, and to some extent in Rogue One, when you feel like they could get really fucking in trouble, like when they go to the Imperial base, I feel a sense of heightened tension, right? I'm just hoping the tension is there anytime Obi-Wan has to step foot around people, like,
yeah, so
horribly wrong.
Yeah, I have the impression, based off of the work over the summer, that it's going to be like it's going to be like the dynamic of the show is going to be like, here's like a lot of suffering, here's a lot of like how hard this is, and then he gets taken out of that for a time to deal with this issue, but then new problems just arise. And so that's kind of, so I don't expect it to be like a super fast action packed story overall. And I think that's where the Darth Vader stuff probably picks up the slack. And that's not to say, and truthfully, I think if you don't care about Kenobi, if you don't, maybe even if you don't like, I didn't say if you don't like the prequels, but if you don't like the story of the prequels, if you don't like the story of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, then I don't know if this is going to work for those people. Is kind of my takeaway right now. I think like the prequel fans are going to be like, "Oh, this is good," and it has nothing to do with acting. It's nothing to do with George Lucas isms. It just has to do with the fact that the heartstrings that this story is playing upon, for the most part. I guess you could say it has original trilogy connotations, because it does feel like, as it should, that it's that middle ground between A New Hope and Revenge of the Sith, which is what it is. But I have a feeling if you just never gave a shit about Kenobi or don't like him, then it's just nothing's going to change that. Like, this isn't going to make it into a different kind of thing for those people. But I think that Lucasfilm is ultimately smart in that there's probably more people who like the prequels and the Clone Wars who are willing to tune into the show than the opposite. and I think, and then you have the big A New Hope beats that it plays upon.
That's fair.
That's what I think. But I mean, obviously, I haven't watched it. I've seen stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on with this one. A lot of stuff out there. And I haven't seen anything that's made me go like, oh god, because I got to be honest. If this sucks, then oh boy, Star Wars in trouble with me.
Have you in the past though, like with stuff? Have you seen stuff from Star Wars? You're like, oh shit, I just want to stay away from that because that's not good. Like,
well, I've had stuff where I was like, I don't think I want to report it because I don't want to deal with the fucking bullshit on it, and it sounds dumb. Maybe like a moment I think most people ended up liking was when Ray. There's a video on this channel where I'm like, yeah, Ray and Kylo, they're like grabbing the thing. I don't want to get in with who's in it. I just don't want to, because she kills Chewbacca, or they thought she did, and I just didn't want to. Like it sounded stupid. I just didn't want to deal with people going, "That's stupid." And me going like, "Well, it is what it is." That's what I hear. But I don't give a shit now. You know what I mean? But I felt that way about Solo: A Star Wars Story for the most part, and I didn't know if I was burned out after the ride of Force Awakens, all the way to Rogue One to The Last Jedi, and then here's Solo: A Star Wars Story, and I'm like, I don't know if I love this. You know what I mean? I don't know if I care, kind of thing, and but I thought, maybe like once I start seeing it, and truthfully, once I did see it, I was like way more into it. It was way more fun when I was watching it. And then I actually rather enjoyed it because I was like, oh, you know what? This is kind of like just a brisk Star Wars movie where you just kind of just enjoy Star Wars, And I liked it. It is doesn't really add much though. Like when I watched Solo: A Star Wars Story, I think it's a good Star Wars movie, but did it contribute anything? Did it make me love Han Solo more? No, it didn't. It didn't take anything from me either. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of a neutral win, That's kind of how I feel about it. Book of Boba is one where I don't know if it contributed, and did it make me dislike Boba more? Maybe a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe a little tiny bit. And
that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never this huge Boba Fett fan though. I was never like obsessed with Boba, and it was like never like a huge thing for me. So on one hand, it was like it's kind of okay, just that it is what it is for me. But yeah, but anyways, but I love the story of the prequels. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi is one of my favorite Star Wars characters. And when I hear about what he's up to and about how things are going and stuff like that, I rather enjoy it, if that makes sense. To me, it continues the story along in a way that I find really compelling, and it's like it feels natural, and I haven't heard anything that made me like cringe. The only thing that ever made me scared or that made me like worried about the show is the fact that like you have kid Leia and kid Luke in it, and I'm like, sometimes kids could just be like so cringy, and like when there's just too much to them, and they're just like the precociousness and stuff, it can be too much. So I was a little bit afraid of that, but like I said, I've only heard really, really good things about the Leia actor, and Luke's role sounds like it's literally basically that of a featured background actor. So Luke's role, I don't think it's gonna really.
Probably doesn't even speak. He just sits there looking stupid.
Yeah, I haven't been able to. I haven't heard a line. I haven't heard him anything that he says anything. I've just heard like, yeah, he's with Baru in the market, and that kind of stuff. And it's all yeah, it's all in like Owen's periphery kind of stuff.
One day I'm gonna join a Nikto gang, murder you. Oh,
yeah, but is it? So he
Baru's like, he's got too much of his father in him. Just wants to murder sand people all fucking day long.
Chris says, do you think Bell gives Obi his house after the mission? You know, I wondered that. I was wondering that quite a while ago. You know what I mean? I was like, I asked a source, I'm like, does he get the house at the end? And they just laughed. And I don't know if this source is a bit like tighter lipped. So, but the source I did ask is tight lipped. But when I asked them, they just laughed, and I almost kind of think that's what happens. But that's speculation on our part. But I mean, well, you know, Bale hasn't seen Kenobi since Revenge of the Sith, and when he finally tracks him down, and he's living in a cave. I think, you know, he's like, maybe, you know, but I think it's Kenobi being in super, super deep cover is one of the reasons that he's doing it, though. Like I don't think it's that Kenobi can't get a house. I don't think it's necessarily that he's in poverty, but you know, but he's not being supported by the Organas. He's not getting any of that secret rebel money. He's not, you know, in the Jedi Witness Protection Program. You know what I mean? He's just simply fucking rough in it.
Sweet Alderaan crypto.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, right. It's on the blockchain. That means you can trust it. Star Wars in game says it's canon. It's Mandalorian canon. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, every fucking time you meet Amanda, they're trying to get you to invest in crypto. You know, I gotta make the salacious beak crumb, whatever you call it, JPEG. Buy it from me. It's on the blockchain. But so is it James Earl Jones?
A fire spray NFT?
So at the end, it is James Earl Jones. I have a slight memory, and I could be wrong, but like that the first words were Hayden's and then it becomes James Earl Jones. But I don't know if that's old internet lore creeping into my memory at this point. But James Earl Jones did return for Revenge of the Sith. So, and people have asked me if James Earl Jones is back, and I believe he is back, but not 100%. So that's why it hasn't been an article on the site. This is just us talking. This is us talking rumors, right? Mm-hmm. And oh, you had a day to have the internet go down. Thrawn Talks internet is down apparently. So down for what? Anyways, Chris says, I feel bad for the kid playing Luke. You know, people are going to criticize. Yeah, I'm hoping that he's just so chill, like that. The role is just so like, you know, in the background. But they like when we look at, I guess you kind of get the alien kids so far, but the live action shows have done an okay job. We haven't had a lot of cringy kids yet, but strangely enough,
is unnecessarily cruel to children actors. You don't ever see the kid who played young Bruce Wayne in Batman Begins getting shit all fucking day, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, and same thing with Marvel. I just like come across like a Marvel story, and I don't really give a shit like in a deep way, but I'm just like looking at it, you know, and I'm like I see the Marvel fan base, and I'm like, guys, can we just all go to couples counseling together as a fandom? Because I mean, they're like doing it right. Like their marriage is so much happier.
Literally, I'm a Marvel fan, but they are literally hunting for spoilers in the reflections of that Doctor Strange poster, just like they did the Spider-Man 3 poster 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I can't believe we're back to this.
And
looking at reflection.
Topher Grace again.
Topher Grace is gonna play.
I don't know what you guys are talking about right now. So you need to explain it to like dummy.
It's Spider Folk talk.
Okay. But yeah, what are you saying, James? I think the show will do very well, which is what scares me. There'd be a lot of pressure to do additional seasons, and those would likely be completely unnecessary. Well,
Star Wars is unnecessary.
I don't know about that. That sounds nice. I wish you were. You know, remember when Qui-Gon's talking about like what to Anakin, and he's like, "Nobody could kill a Jedi wizard," and he's like, "I wish that were true.
I wish that was so.
I wish that were true, young Jesse." But
You may not know me. I have no money and I have no power.
but to the best of my knowledge, if this
That's good.
if
I do have a special set of skills.
if this show does really 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 well, I don't think they have Kenobi 2 ready to go.
No,
As far as I know,
anyway.
It's
No,
called
no.
Obi-Wan, not Obi-2. God.
Yeah, Obi-2, that would be so horrible. I hate when people think Wan is one. It's like, no, I mean, it makes no sense. But anyways, this was launched as a limited series, so I could see elements of this series spinning off into a new thing, and then maybe Kenobi has a part in that. But I don't think we're going to get a second Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of
series. Yeah.
I don't think so. At least not at this time. I don't think so. And if you want my opinion on it, which I guess you're watching the show, maybe you do, right? I think that's fair. Possibly. I mean, some people in the comments, some people in the comments will be like, "I watch your show, and I don't want your opinion." And I'm like, "Well, what are you here for?" But
that's what they say about me.
Do your show with your eyes shut.
Yeah. But I have a feeling that if we want more Kenobi, they may do a Clone Wars story. Because Ewan looks pretty good. It wouldn't be that hard. It wouldn't be that hard to go into to tell a story, set in the Clone Wars in live action, and make that into something if they do get desperate to do more.
Him.
I don't even. Yeah, I think minimally they would need. He doesn't look that much older than he does in Revenge of the Sith right now. You know what I'm saying? He looks,
and you get a hot young girlfriend.
Yeah, Kenobi is doing. He is.
It's better than the back to tank. I'm telling you.
Kitster's in the Tatooine pie instead of American pie. It's Tatooine pie. Kitster.
Yeah,
it's not a good joke, Jesse. I see what you're doing. It's not a good joke. Let that one go.
But he does. No, I mean, he was like, she's so hot, I'm gonna put a baby in it. I mean, right. I agree. I agree with where he's coming from. I've been there before, you guys. It's a mistake every time, but I respect the mistake.
So. I have a friend, man, who spent like a year trying to get with a girl like 20 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. And it worked. Poor girl, I was like, just leave her alone. But he worked. When
did we lose you? We lost you. Old Bendover is down.
Damn.
Old Bendover is Bendover.
He got canceled for that story.
We lost it. Yeah, we cannot hear you. But anyways, deal me, sir. No, fuck that guy. Oh, wait, there you are. Okay. Star Wars in Game says Kitster finds out Obi-Wan is a Jedi and runs to tell everyone, and Obi-Wan kill him to keep him safe. That would be. No, Kitster wouldn't do that. Kitster is pure.
It'd be like the movie The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward whatever guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fix this picture up here," and pow.
Yeah.
Right in the back of the dome.
Red 5. Love you, man. Love you, dude. No, I don't want to get an apartment with you. Just saying, I love you, dude. All right. I envy everything about Marvel. From the love put into the projects and the hype and promotion they build for projects and the freaking action figures that come out with the new shorts and films. Yeah, Marvel, in a weird way, I wish they just did the same thing. I don't know why they just don't. They have all the same people. But what good things are you hearing about Kumail? Just that Kumail is just like a super obviously super funny. I mean, he's done so many things before. It's not like we don't know that he's super talented and hilarious already. But that his character is really really good, and that he's really good. So we have a good character. So it's like I'm not saying his character is like Cobb Vanth, but you know how Cobb Vanth, Timothy Olyphant come together, and you're like, oh, that's a fucking great character. That's I can't say any more than that, okay? But I already kind of gave away today something about him, so I can't go more into it right now. But that is, I think, the best example. He is the right casting for the right character, and it's just solid. I mean, that's and I gotta be honest with you guys. Sometimes I hear bad things about things I like. I'm like, oh, he was fine or she was fine, and like they're just like, oh, he seems iffy, but not with him.
My only gripe with him in the Eternals movie was like his character was cool, but then I was kind of wondering, like, while I was watching, it's like, why did he need to get roided out again? Like, you're an Eternal. It's like you show your arms for like 3 seconds of the movie, and it's like you worked on a year and a half to do that. Like,
maybe he wanted to work on himself. I don't know. I haven't actually watched that movie yet.
It was just weird. I don't understand what, like, they made such a big deal about him putting all this muscle on and he's going to be badass. And I was like he just shoots finger guns.
Yeah. Hold on. Bend over. Are you okay? This is a wellness check.
Red Rover. Bend over. It's okay.
Blink if you need help.
Luke says, well, that spoils the baseless negativity. I guess we will have to make up something else to get mad about before the show comes out next. Yeah, probably.
Oh, I can do that.
Always.
I'm good at that.
I haven't heard anything about Watto. I don't think Watto and Kenobi ever met. So in a weird way, Kenobi could probably walk all around Watto and it would be fine, you know, when you get down to it. But Book of Boba was kind of the opportunity to put Watto in something again, and they didn't do it. I have a question for you, Rob, that you may know the answer to, you may not. Watto was made for the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, so ILM has those assets, you know, on file. Could those assets be used today at a very cheap cost, or has technology moved forward so far that it would require almost a redesign rather than using some old wire frames and shit?
They don't use the pipeline. It's a hand animated Softimage model. You know, they would use some form of facial capture and mocap now. It would have to redo the whole thing.
So yeah, so it wouldn't be a cheap, let's just fucking throw Watto in the background here and
No. They get him and Dex together and they can be like John Candy and Steve Martin.
John Candy and Steve Martin. Yeah. I kind of do wish I do want more, wouldn't mind more Watto, and this would be a good place to put Watto in.
Pod race series. Pod race series.
God, last night I bought. Oh yeah, if any of you guys were looking to buy Ghostbusters and you actually still buy movies, Ghostbusters is on Vudu for $9.99 in UHD 4K. Ooh. So if you're looking to buy Ghostbusters, it's a good time. It's probably the best price you're going to get until it's $7 in a couple years. And but when I was watching it last night, I kept thinking about our conversation. Was it yesterday about Grammar Rodeo? Yeah. And I was like, and as I'm watching it, oh yeah, by the way, I asked a source about it, and I asked about Yoda, and they're like, "How do you already know?" So I don't know if that was confirmation. Yeah, I think that's confirmation of Yoda.
That's confirmation.
Right. Yeah. So you're gonna get Yoda. This is the High Republic Yoda Opportunity Series, and but Yoda aside, as I'm watching it, I'm like, you know, they're looking for a guy, and Paul Rudd. Oh yeah, the 30 to 40-year-old guy. That's Paul Rudd, the non-binary girl. I'm like, all of it was a Ghostbusters 1-to-1. Like the cast was a Ghostbusters. What's the subtitle of Ghostbusters?
Afterlife.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. Fucking, it was like a 1-to-1 almost, you know, and yeah.
I almost bought the figures for my boy the other day. I saw him in Target. They had the figures of all the kids. They had podcasts. Oh, I wanted to get podcast.
Yeah, you know, I watched the movie with my kids in the theater, and my daughter just fell in love with that movie. Like, she loved it, and so I wanted to buy it, but I didn't really want to buy it for $20. And when it finally dropped, that's when I got it for her. And so her and I, my son didn't want to watch it again, but me and my daughter watched it again last night. And when I watched it, I was like, like characters like Podcast didn't really stick out to me the first time I watched it. He didn't, but the second time I watched it, he felt way more prominent. And I think I was like following the plot so hard. And now that I know the plot, like you kind of like you see like the subtleties of the performances.
All
And
the
I
ancillary
still,
characters. Yeah.
yeah, and I still think that movie is really good. And then the end isn't bad because it's just the end of Ghostbusters 1, basically.
Yeah.
But that's my only thing. I'm like, they need to do another one because the end of this one, it feels like a different movie by the
It's a little weird that Egon
Mhm.
didn't just burn J.K. Simmons' corpse to prevent him from coming back to life. I imagine it's cursed or like ghost booby trap somehow, but they just decided not to explain that. But it's like he's just sitting in that glass case. He just burned him. He won't come back to life. I mean, I get that it didn't matter to anything, but it's just one of those things, man. I love the setting of the Midwest and these crazy voodoo, these crazy cults, that existed around the turn of the century, Industrial Revolution time. And it's like the fact that at the very end they go right back to New York. I'm like, no, do a series, like a Netflix series where you're just exploring more of that shit in the town, and then do the sequel in New York at the end of the series. Like give these kids some time to do shit. Like
And work their way across the states back to New York.
Yeah, road trip for Ghostbusting road trip. We're gonna go to all the spooky spots, right? And then it turns out it's a big thing. And then they go to San Francisco. They go to San Francisco and find Egg Shen. Right?
Well,
my theory, it's all connected. Yeah. Yes.
What was sticking out to me last night was when I watched it again was Paul Rudd and the mom. They have a bad date essentially. The date gets interrupted. Let me move this out of the way. Their date gets interrupted, and I'm like, then all of a sudden Paul Rudd is just having his period, going to Walmart to get snacks. Like to get ice cream and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, why didn't they just have it where it's like, how about we get together tomorrow, and then like he makes like a joke. I'll make you a cake or something like that.
My theory about that is
that
it's a take where they were gonna have sex, but he didn't have condoms, so she made him go out. You know what I mean? And he's there to pick up. And then someone was like, it's a little too much for the kids. So they just trim that part out, and that's why he's at the Walmart. And then he runs into I want to stay
Is that town even big enough to have a Walmart though? That town's not even big enough to have a Walmart. I don't think there's enough people to work at that Walmart.
No, you underestimate the power of that family, bro. They are the syndicate. They're bigger than Crimson Dawn. Yeah, they are.
Okay, so this is something that's
Paul Rudd wants to stay puffed. Stay puffed.
Stay puffed. So today I also wanted to hit on this article about Kenobi and Cassian, and John Williams returns to write Star Wars Kenobi and Andor as a composer. I wrote this morning, and so we've already gone over this a little bit. Remember that rumor that was based off of some of the musicians who hung out with John Williams for his birthday. Well, they're back. Working with them in the same studio, and they were Star Wars people. So that was the first kind of like, is there something here? That was back in February.
Interesting.
Early February, I mean. We're still in February.
Yeah.
And then LRM, who is a site that I really like for Star Wars news, one of the more trusted sources for Star Wars news, says, is John Williams back scoring Star Wars for Obi-Wan Kenobi? The answer I am 100% confident is yes. However, exactly what that means, is Williams scoring the whole show? Is he scoring one moment or a piece of the show in some way? I cannot tell you. I had hoped to break this news in a few more days once we had gathered some more information. So, the LRM was going to break it, and then it kind of started to leak out because it was backed up by this Lord of the Rings podcast on YouTube. And so I just feel like this is one of those scenarios where there's smoke, there's fire. When you keep hearing all of these little bits of news from everywhere about it, it either means everybody's talking to each other and not the sources. In this case, we're here. I don't think this makes sense that this is what this can be. And I don't think LRM is amateur hour either, for the record. But it makes me think that there's definitely something going on here. Now, my opinion is John Williams isn't scoring the Kenobi series. He's probably writing the main track or coming up with some suites of music based off of his previous themes. Like Leia Organa's theme is I would say probably his favorite piece of music to perform and to play. and he's always enjoyed making new versions of it for shows. If I remember correctly, he's done like different versions of it throughout the years.
Mhm.
So I would not be surprised if he wanted to do a version of Leia's theme when she's young, and we have Luke and we have Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's theme used to be the Force theme. Used to be like when he shows up, that was Obi-Wan's theme, really, and now it's become the Force theme. So maybe Obi-Wan gets a new track. But if I had to bet, it's a new Leia. He's writing a new Leia version of the Leia theme.
What's he currently been doing, like the last 3 projects?
Mostly 2 chicks at the same time, dude. That's what I'd do if I had $1 million.
That's Taco Tuesday for him, bro.
No, he's pretty much retired. He's pretty much done making movies.
So we'd come in with like
this isn't a movie
with some of the hits and the bits, and then just kind of lay them out for folks. And if he's got to give it a once over, he gives it a once over for him.
Yeah, and he's doing his own. He's doing like a record of his own music, right? Didn't you tell me that, Rob?
Yep, he's got an album coming out.
I'm going solo. I'm going solo, boys. I'm doing my own records. I'm going to say LRM also said Bosk was in the Book of Boba Fett, though. Fair enough. We all get one wrong, but maybe they were told. Maybe that one Trando who's that main boss was the reason why that happened. So it's like, if we can, I think we should give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's probably what it was that there's and by most accounts internally, Bosk is supposed to be this like leader. He says this big guy now for the Trandos. And then you hear what was his name? Was it like Mock Shack or some shit? I can't remember any of the names from Book of Boba Fett now. But he was that's probably where it came from. So if we had got Book of Boba and there were no transitions, and I'd have been like, they just messed up. They just got it wrong.
Yeah, but didn't LRM or whatever, didn't they like admit it when they got it wrong?
Probably.
Like,
yeah, I mean, like I said, that and I respect that. If you get one wrong, I messed up today too. I said that what's his name was a Zabrak Jedi with no face tattoos, and I got it wrong. It's a Zabrak with face tattoos, flesh colored, and in the space, and he's a Jedi and a different thing altogether. So
you got the whole thing wrong, actually.
So I got it all mixed up. But
it's like when I say something and then I have to come back and go, no, I'm wrong.
Yeah. But hey, happy birthday again, Chief. I was hanging out in the chat for Star Wars Santa show today, and we all wished him happy birthday and wish him another happy birthday. I'm good, and I hope you're good, dude. I hope you have a good birthday today.
Birthday to you.
But I mean, if we do get John Williams doing anything for the show, I mean, I think that's great. I mean, think about his Galaxy's Edge theme was fun. I don't listen to it for fun, but he did a good job. It was good. His Han Solo theme, honestly, gotta be honest, a little forgettable to me. And his sequel trilogy work, like I liked Jedi Steps, love it, so good. But for the most part, don't really love the soundtracks to the sequel trilogy. I don't think it was his best work. I don't think, I think a lot of his best work is behind him. And that's not bad because he's fucking old. Like he's done it. He's the best, still the best of the best. And he's very old. He deserves his retirement. And whenever we get anything, we're just lucky. But I really, really hope
I'm not dead, not yet.
I really hope he takes Leia's theme and does what he did to Anakin's theme from the Imperial March. I hope he does something.
He gives it
like
lyrics.
That. What?
I'm Leia.
Little flute.
Leia.
Leia. He's like, write this down. I'm John Williams, bitch. Leia. No, like when you listen to Anakin's theme from The Phantom Menace, you can hear the Imperial March in it. It's done this really playful little happy thing, and it goes in I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I preferred it when George Lucas was working with John Williams because the music was more transformative, I would say. The Disney era has been, here it is. There it is. That's the music. Don't overthink it. Just is. That's it. Rey's theme didn't become Jedi Steps, didn't become this new thing by the end of it. It was just one off. There you go. So yeah, like the Phantom Menace soundtrack still rocks the fucking shit off of anything that's come out in the last 15 years,
Gonna blow your doors off, bro.
Yeah. But and it's like in the weirdest way, like his last soundtracks I really liked were like, this is like 20 years old almost now. I think, yeah, about 20 years. It is 20 years since Catch Me If You Can. Like that little jazz theme that he did. It's fucking that shit was fun. But that was 20 years ago now. It's just crazy. That's been fast.
Yeah.
I was 23.
Yeah, it was 22.
No,
Yeah.
So and then we got some Andor news and Film Music Reporter, which I believe this is very, very on. Film Music Reporter is reporting that Nicholas Britell, Succession, Moonlight, Don't Look Up, Cruella, Vice, The Big Short, The Underground Railroad has been tapped to score the upcoming Disney Plus original series Andor. So you can expect a lot of piano and violins, kind of like pianos with strings and stuff. Whiplash. Remember, did you ever see Whiplash?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the music for Whiplash as well. He's fucking badass.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also took a crack at Miles Tenor or whatever. Just smacked him.
Oh yeah.
I'm just in on it. I just want to be part of the crew.
Yeah.
Is everybody gonna hit me?
That's for Fantastic Four, bitch.
Well, Lucas, when they do like that whole like Lucas was hands off with the score thing, it's more like they did have like meetings though, and he did like say like here's my ideas, and Lucas does trust him.
It may have been hands off, but I'm sure eyebrows were raised.
Well, no, that's the thing is with Williams, you generally don't have to raise the eyebrows. He's gonna be the one thing that's consistently good, is his music. I would say it's the one thing that's consistent through all 9 Star Wars movies is his music, right? But at the same time, I do know that it like Lucas did contribute ideas about how like, hey, what if Anakin's theme is Darth Vader? I think that came from Lucas, but
that was me.
But and I love, like I said, Jedi Steps is the leitmotif of that, the little melody that you hear is so good. Like I completely love it. So I'm not saying I dislike the sequel trilogy scores all in all or anything like that. I'm just saying that I really don't. Totality of
Jedi
them.
Rocks. It's just a slower version of Jedi Rocks. It's really slow.
Yeah.
Please speed it up. It says chaba chaba wookie wookie baka baka ooga booga.
Wait, hold on here. Mr. Lucas has a complaint. You wrote chobi chaba waba dooby daba daba chubi daba. Lucas did not write that. He wrote chubi daba 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 chubi dooby daba daba.
Fucking
Are you fucking
Hales,
You fucking kidding me right now, Jonathan Hales? Get the fuck out of here, Hales.
Rama lama dama mama dang along ling long.
And that's how it happened. And then Jonathan Hales went on to write that Kid Rock song, that daba laba dig shing dong fucking bullshit.
So Jesus built your hot rod for you.
Oh yeah. Ball with the bob, but down and now biggie whoop wookie upchuck the
Jonathan
Wookie.
Hales.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hales.
It was really he was originally upchuck the Wookie, but we thought people would be upchucking when
Kid
they saw
Rock
the
Hales.
We didn't.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, so but that pretty much is our Star Wars news of the day. And it's a lot of big Star Wars news in there. Gotta say, that was I got some more Kenobi stuff. I'm not sure how much further I really want to go with Kenobi. Like my plan is to facilitate discussion here, and to make it so we have stuff to talk about during these next 3 months. But hopefully
let's just drop everything now and then stay quiet about it.
Yeah, to just. Well, I do know that J.J. Abrams like wrote shit on the piano and stuff and like tried to be involved. And I don't know to what extent, but also one of the things I heard back, I had like photos from the scoring sessions and shit, and like audio from it at times and stuff, from the sequel trilogy films, and a lot of the times he was like not conducting, like he had like people who were helping him like do a lot of the some of the day-to-day work. Like he wrote it, but there were people who were like helping him. Like I don't know what you call it, but
I need to sit, JJ. I shit Jedi rocks now. You know what I'm saying? I need to sit.
David says TRL back in the day played Bot with Daba over a Phantom Menace montage on MTV, and I have always associated the two. That is
Upchuck the Wookiee. I told you that was their original name, and they just I don't know. It's somehow, you know, some producer gets involved or fucking
licensing issues. You know, they always get fucked up.
No, he just know he just fucking does whatever he wants. He sits in that closet snorting up pixie sticks and just fucking doing fuck all. I can't, you know.
No.
You know, at least with Disney, I can just show up and do whatever I want now.
That's true.
Nice. I get my voice out through the art of books. That's what I do. That's how I get through.
It would be pretty cool to live in a reality where Fred Durst and Kid Rock got in a car together and crashed and it exploded, and that never happened.
You know, in South Park, anything's
getting
possible.
a La Bamba moment with those guys. We get two more guys. You know.
Oh God, maybe if we had La Bamba, maybe they'd be more popular and it would be worse. People would be like, "Man, I hear that hot dog chocolate water was going to be so good," or whatever the fuck that bullshit was. Yeah.
Oh, nobody liked that shit when they paid. They paid the radio station in Fresno when I was down there to pay that.
They paid all of them. That's
yeah. But it was like the people were calling like, "Turn that shit off. Nobody wants that."
Oh, it was so bad. But yeah. Anyways, but yeah. So
I want hot dog chocolate water, like just the actual thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what it was called. It might have been called that. It was something stupid like that, though. But it was like, yeah, I got it. The fucking Fred Durst got like tattoos with like Elvis and Kurt Cobain together. I'm like, that's like putting ice cream on top of sushi. Like those things don't go together at all. Like they don't interface. You fucking idiot.
They do in Fortnite.
What?
You just give it time. Give it time. Everything will be in Fortnite.
Yeah, I guess I'd play as Chris Novoselic in Fortnite. Throw the base up in the air as my emote.
That's what his weapon would be. It would be the back.
He throws it up and gets hit in the head. Yeah, that'd be fun. But
then if they're gonna go that way, then we should get the flamethrower guitar guy from Fury Road. He should be in there too.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers hates George Miller, so
Mark.
That's true.
Mark is getting in.
That'd have been a good Justice League. I like the Seth Cohen guy.
Mark Hamilton's getting in like Indiana Jones at the, getting his head at the end. He's like, will Kenobi have as a New Hope Tatooine hut? No. Or is he going to be a cave dweller hiding from everyone? Yes. But he's like, I can't say, I don't want to go too far. But he lives in the cave and he just put it this way. He's keeping his head down. He's living in the cave, keeping his head down. And, yeah.
Well, it is the Junlan Wastelands after all.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing all right.
Everybody live in a cave out
because they get wasted on lizards. That's why it's fucking called the Wasteland. You didn't know that this whole fucking time. It's just they get wasted out the wastelands.
Oh, David, I have to disagree. Limp Bizkit's break stuff, just Limp Bizkit in general, doesn't go well with anything, as far as I'm concerned.
Please don't.
Don't go knocking
a real
Fortnite.
hot chick in that video, bro. Like,
I don't think I've ever watched it.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Yeah. But you know what? You could have put that on a good song too. RF Gaming Channel, how's it going? Says don't go knocking Fortnite. They're giving us Mando, Boba Fennec, Chrysanthemum, and I
I
messed with
didn't
other
knock
skins.
Fortnite. I
We're
just
not
you
said
did.
Fortnite.
Yes, you did.
I literally
my
just
kid
said
is better
everything's
than
gonna end up
Jason.
in everything's gonna end up in Fortnite eventually.
Yes.
Like you're gonna get Elvis and Kurt Cobain. It's a statistical
That's what
probability.
my son's
Like
looking forward to. The new Sonic tubes coming out. He's like, okay, when they're gonna give me Sonic skins, I gotta get Sonic skins when they come out.
he
They're
just
gonna
wants
come out.
Sonic pelts. Well, the Trandoshans will murder Sonic and give them to you.
You're right.
Like, as tribute.
For a price.
Thank you for reminding me, James. This is called Tales of the Jedi by Jason Ward. After listening to yesterday's show, I see that Rob's obsession with me is still a real thing. I thought being on the show for every post Book of Boba Fett show would have gotten us to a better place, but it seems I've only made things worse. For the record, you and Rob are both right. Lucasfilm did test market the name Tales of the Jedi, and they did ask me for my input. But before Rob criticizes the name, he needs to understand two things. Number one, I'm always right about Star Wars. Had they consulted me for Book of Boba Fett, we would have gotten a much better show. Perhaps a Qui-Gon spinoff directed by Guillermo del Toro. Number two.
One trick pony, this guy. He's got one idea and he won't let it go. All right, go ahead.
Tales of the Jedi was definitely the best title, given that these were the other choices. Padawan Patrol. The lead kid was going to be a young Bothan. So a young Bothan called Padawan Patrol.
James is writing jokes now.
Wow.
Yeah, Padawan Patrol.
All right.
That was a good setup too. I like that. That was nice.
Force Kids with a Z at the end. Force Kids, Kidz.
I don't see is skids, bro.
And the
Or
soundtrack would be
skids.
done by Kids Bop.
All I hear is skids. You got to be careful about that on a shirt. You got
Force
you're not
Kids.
thinking when you put S and kids next to it, you see skids. It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, James agrees, and I don't think I need to explain how fucking dumb that would have been.
Kids and Mark.
Mini Chlor E ends. The theme song was killer, but it just wasn't enough for me. And then tiny lightsabers. After I told them Rob would constantly keep quoting True Lies, I got a little dick. LFL quickly agreed that this title would not do well.
The fact that that's a thing now, it makes me so happy.
Hope this helps
complaint.
clear things up.
Rob's a one dick pony. It's the greatest line in the history of cinema. He should have been nominated for that one fucking line. What actor would have done that and let alone sold it? You gotta understand the genius of Bill Paxton. Yeah, it's pathetic. Like, I don't know how they even got through the day. Like everyone off camera is dying.
I just want Padawan Patrol.
Has to be. I mean,
Mhm.
Chet. It's Chet. And he's got a little dick.
Okay, how about this? Padawan Patrol, but then the bad guys are Chiss, and they all have shirts that say Blue Lives Matter. Okay, let's not do it. Hope this helps clear things out. Remember when Paw Patrol got in trouble? Anyways, hope this helps clear things up. Great show as always, and hopefully I can get back on soon. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to come back on and fight Rob, and whenever you're ready, Jim.
We're at it.
Yeah, you definitely have to bring some more titles with you, because those are really important. We need to know what all of the other alternate titles were.
Yeah,
I'm actually
fascinated by this.
I actually wasn't
Can't
really
wait.
like that interested in the concept of that show, but like the more that I'm hearing about it, the more I definitely want to. I definitely want to see.
It
what
has
they
the
do
greatest
with this.
potential either way.
Yeah.
It's not like droids, but
Oh, a droid's tale.
Look, this just no one's gonna remember that fucking show. I'm just gonna let you know right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, the original
the
droids
logo's
or
any-
droid's tale?
No, the droid story. The whatever.
droid story.
If the logo is any
terrible
indicator
logo
of the
show.
quality of that show, don't get your hopes up for that one.
it's a placeholder.
I'm not gonna base whatever it is off of the fucking logo. I'm just saying,
I will.
like,
I'll do that. Yeah.
no, that's like if I showed you today Rogue One, a Star Wars story, you knew nothing about it, you'd be like, what the fuck is that? You know,
Oh, the
They-
Star Wars story is
But
dumb.
I've already had
the,
plenty
the
of those
logo
moments
itself
this
was
year.
the logo itself was just standard Star Wars, serif fonts with some chrome, just like Obi-Wan
Mhm.
Kenobi.
that's what I'm
But
saying.
the
It's-
droid story is a whole level of bad. Just letting you know.
yeah, I don't. I'm not. I don't know what to expect because I don't know. I don't know shit about it. You know what I mean on that one. So I don't know if it's a throwaway equivalent of, oh my god, it's Halloween on Tatooine with R2 and 3PO. For all I know, it's something fucking stupid like
Look,
that.
the
you know?
show should be called Halloween on Tatooine. I would watch that.
Mhm.
Like, that's a great title. That's the most
And Luke
inventive title I've
Skywalker?
heard yet.
Luke Skywalker goes as Darth Vader. Ironically, he doesn't. It's funny.
No, 3PO
Oh,
and
Space
R2 are
Hitler.
like Jerry Seinfeld and Kramer from across the hall from each other.
Halloween on Tatooine could be a Lego Star Wars special. I think.
Yeah.
I'm kind of done with the Lego Star Wars
Oh,
specials.
but they take blocks that cost 1 penny to make and they sell it to you for $200. They're never gonna stop. That's the one thing that will never fucking stop.
It's the number one toy brand in the world now. So,
Yeah. Star Wars Santa says that's all that kids ever ask for as far as Star Wars stuff goes. When he's doing his Santa things, they just all want Star Wars Legos. That's it. But anyways, we're gonna call this one a show. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Clarify any confusion. If anything else happens, I'll come back and cover it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And thank you, Rob and Jesse, for hanging out with me today. And thanks everyone in the chat. And thanks everyone for being a Patreon supporter or a channel member and supporting the
Thanks,
show.
everyone.
Yeah,
for being a
thanks.
supporter. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you for being a friend.
you like me?
Sassy arms crossed. Mm.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys tomorrow and be cool.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
Not about spaceships.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it?
Well, it's almost time.